Before he even made it to kindergarten, Josh Reich's future was already coming into focus.
I did get my first computer when I was 4 years old, and the ability, even back then, to sort of just have this infinite playground, as it were, where you can create all sorts of different things, you know, really in the space of ideation and make them real. It was clear to me that I had an affinity for science and technology, and you know, that this is probably going to be something that's part of my identity in one way or another going forward.
As Josh got older, his interest in innovation led him to a world-class education, a mathematics degree, master's and PhD in computer science from Columbia, then an innovation fellowship at Princeton, where one of his instructors was a former AT&T employee with a fascinating project.
In our first meeting, she asked me, "Hey, have you heard of this SDN thing?" And I said, "I've heard the term, but, you know, tell me about it."
Josh suddenly found himself on the front line of research in software-defined networking, which uses software in the cloud to run a network rather than bulky hardware.
It was an opportunity to look at a technology that had some really interesting features and really interesting potential.
So as you might imagine, when it was time to head to the private sector, there were plenty of options.
I ended up getting offers from every place in industry I interviewed. Google, Facebook, Microsoft, VMware, AT&T of course. And there were a couple of things that put AT&T over the top for me. If you think about it, AT&T's network is one of the largest, most sophisticated, most complex technological artifacts that's ever been built by our species. And so the opportunity to be able to work on this, that's an opportunity that few other employers could match. Okay, so this is kind of neat.
And then there's the unique position he was offered. At the simplest level, Josh is a problem solver on a team that's finding solutions to technological challenges of the present and the future. But he also has a desk at the University of California, Berkeley, working with faculty and students on all of the what-ifs that come with innovation, so he can continue to flex that creative muscle.
There's always a solution if you're willing to pay enough money to do it. The question is, how can you do it in an economically reasonable way? But at the same time, it's refreshing to also be able to have part of my job where I can just take a break from that, you know, just think like crazy thoughts without having to worry about what the justification for that might be.
When we're hiring, we're really interested in trying to find the people who are really, really passionate, just like Josh is, in trying to understand what real problems are, think outside the box to create those solutions. And so we're looking for folks like Josh that do that, that really are driven by, I want to change the world and I want to use technology to do that.
The enthusiasm Josh shows is contagious, but it's more than that. It's a glimpse inside an exceptional mind, looking at things in a different way, and seeing a future that is both challenging and exciting.
We want to take this huge step forward and turn ourselves into a company that's about programming, about software development, about big data. We're at the forefront of learning what you want, providing content that's tailored to your interests and desires, that makes you happy. We're at the forefront of 5G, something which is probably going to be highly automated and controlled by software. You know, these are things right up my alley. We actually invest a tremendous amount of time and money and energy with some of the best minds in the world working together at breakneck speeds in making that magic happen. I'm getting really excited to come to work because you know you're going to be doing something that's just like maybe never been done before, and is going to put a smile on the customers' faces and is, you know, going to be creative.